Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again. This is the day after Memorial Day, the first day of June 2021. And my message to you, ladies and gentlemen, is this. It's still a message of freedom. It's a message of liberation. We are in a crisis today. Many of us are trying to just shuck it aside and hope that everything is going to come out all right. It always has in the past, one way or another. And that you think you have no real power to do anything about it. And so we just sit back, those of you who do, and just let it happen. Then there are those out there who are trying to fight against it because they know that it is something that they really don't want to happen, and they feel that you don't either. And if you really stood up, so by not doing that, they're speaking for you. And yet there are those out there whose whole aim is to profit and benefit from every possible means that it makes itself available through this association. I was thinking earlier today, what would it like when Adam and Eve were the only ones, or they were the ones that were selected to be a representative of the existence of people? And speaking for that time and throughout all times about the beauty that was intended from the beginning, the efforts that were made, the earth and all that is in it, on it, above it, that can be used to bring a manifestation from the imagination of humankind and make it a physical form, reflecting the power of an invisible power, causing all that you can see to see. Well, that's a beautiful goal, beautiful ambition, but if the power and Adam and Eve looked out upon the land and they knew that everything was theirs, that they'd never have to worry about food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, these kinds of things, because they would be responsible for themselves to take care of all of these things. And they would concentrate, they would focus, and these things would be met. And having done that, then creation would start, additional creation would start. And as time passed and the population grew, then the responsibilities that was once that of one is now the responsibility of all those who play a part in the benefit thereof. And so you recognize that as the population grows, then the responsibilities to or commitment to the process, yours is diminished because it makes room for others who are coming into the fold. And basically what you have, ladies and gentlemen, is a situation where all the things that humankind want, whatever they can imagine, the power of love, the power of God, the power of truth and understanding will allow that vision, that imagination to come true by each one who can see this vision or can understand this vision, play a part in the product thereof. And because the resources that are used are common amongst all the people and everything. What I'm basically saying, ladies and gentlemen, God has put people on this earth to make sure that you never have to worry about food. God has done that. Yes, in some places people never worry about food. Other places they do. Or sometimes it's economics and just perhaps the condition, the climate. And other times it's because of the way people treat people. But God has made it possible that no one would ever have to say, well, we didn't have food, because the power of love didn't deliver. The power of God, true love, did. You never have to worry about shelter, housing, beginning from the first house to whatever we call housing today. You never have to worry about it. The choice is yours. God has made it possible for all of your needs as far as housing is concerned to be met. Oh, my friends, that's the love of the Almighty God. Everybody made it possible that you have all of the education that is required. That's additional stuff that you can use to aid you ahead of the game as you prepare yourself to be the best in whatever it is that you do, that we, the human race, can benefit in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way. My friends, not only that same power was instrumental in making sure that health care would be available. I know some could say, well, we could wield it. Well, there came a time when we couldn't wield it. And because of that, the professionals in that industry were made available to humankind, just as those who brought the computers, the electric lights, the telephones, cars, the planes. It's all the power of God manifesting itself through we the people. Now, all of that is to be for all of us to live as though we're in heaven. And the only thing we're doing is just living, doing our due and living. And God does not require any more of that than that. Hear me? Than that. What are we doing? Respecting God, loving ourselves and everyone else as if they were us. It cost us nothing else. But then in the garden, they said, someone came up and said, you don't have to have it like that. Well, that's what they say today. Now, you might say, well, who is saying that, what I just got through saying in the garden? Who is saying that today? I say, I am. I'm saying it. I'm hoping that there are many others that are saying it. I'm not confident of that, nor am I sure. But I can tell you one thing I am sure of. I'm saying it. I'm speaking for heaven. I'm speaking for God. I'm speaking for love. And how do I know it? Because everything I'm saying benefits every last one of you. It does not cause you any pain. It does not cause you any suffering. In matter of fact, it sets you free to be prosperous, to be joyous in your living, and for your dreams to come true. Hey, that's why I'm standing it and I'm saying it. I'm saying it. But you know, there's another voice saying something. And it is saying that the way the United States of America is a lie. You don't have to accept things the way they are. Now, do they know something? Those who say these kinds of things, do they know something that we don't know? Well, truly now, we do understand. We do know for a fact that there is some weird stuff going on. You know, there's slavery. There's what happened with the natives and people who were treated so poorly as less than humans, second-class citizens, all 400 years going into it now. We know that's evil, but that's part of the plan of life today. That's part of the plan of the world in which we live. So that means that that thing that I just got to explain to you, that I can see in the beginning and I can see it now, for now, that same lie that caused the destruction back in that time is present amongst us now. Now, when I say present, that doesn't mean it hasn't been here all the time, but it hadn't been to this extent. You know, whatever you're doing, if it continues, it's going to grow. So if you're committing goodness, it's going to grow if it continues. If you're committing evil, it's going to grow if you continue. It's like any cancer. If you let it stay there, it's going to grow. It's not going to go away. So what's happening is that what we put up with, the evil that we have put up with, we just accepted for all of these years, now it's coming home to roost. It's coming home to roost on the people that was doing it to the people who suffered by the same people. They are going at one another. Why? Because one wants to take the rest of them straight on down to the pit of hell. With Donald Trump, why I say that and his followers? Because they are blatantly lying. Now, America might have been lying to us all along, and we can admit we are sure they were and are. But for a while, we were ignorant. We accepted what was going on as fact. We accepted it. But what Trump and his followers are doing, they're just standing before us, lying to our faces, and daring us to believe what we see and hear. Daring us to believe what we see and hear. So what are you going to do? Are you going to stay where you've been all the time? Sure, it's nice to say the things that the Democrats are saying now. But look what's happening in these various states across this country. They are going back trying to take as far as the legality of things, they are trying to take the system legally back to the early days, back in the 1700s, back in the 1800s. This is what they're doing. I mean, they're actually doing this, ladies and gentlemen. What does that mean? That means that you're complaining now because of certain things. They want to take you back when you had no voice, and you will have no voice. And what you going to do about it? But they got the jails and prisons built for you. They got the concentration camps built for you. They already showing you they don't care about you. Well, the key has been exposed, so the people of color and black people know what it is. But I'm telling you, it's not about that. It is about the truth. It is about God. This is the time that I want to tell you again. When I listen to you, Joe, President Biden, you sound like a piece of apple pie compared to Donald Trump. But for people who can't go to school because they don't have money, people who are denied housing because they don't have money, people who are denied the realities that everybody desires in this life because they don't have money, as long as they exist, baby, you're no good. You're no good. Democrats and Republicans, the way you are right now compared to the way things should be, you are no good. And since nobody can trust you, the other people, everybody else, you either with the Republicans and Democrats, but if you could tell the truth, you're not with any of them. So you stand up for what's right. You stand up for what's right. And what is right? What is right is what I just got through sharing with you. When no one can look at you and say, well, I didn't have a place to stay, when they can't say that. Well, I didn't have any food, when they can't say that. When I didn't have access to education, when they can't say that. Well, I didn't have health care, when they can't say that. When I couldn't get around, when they can't say that. Well, my dreams just didn't come true, when they can't say that. You just keep on doing what you're doing, because you're representing what doesn't exist. You're making it real so that the people can see it, and it's real. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'll stop there. I want to thank you so very much for this moment. Goodbye.